somebody stop me, stop me, stop me. Please, somebody stop me, stop me, stop me. Oh, somebody stop me. Lord, if I'm
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut. Mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now.
Hello again, everybody. Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Prescott. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw, Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they? They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him for a loss of 5. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Cooper's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
In both locker rooms, the coaches talked about setting the tone early. Didn't matter whether you started on offense or defense. In this case, the team that had the ball first did exactly that. Took it right downfield and scored.
Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Bree's going to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on is...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The partners, the Cowboys come back out here. I want to ask you to assess the season. The first couple months of the year for Dallas starting to look like they'd be sitting at home in January. Then the Amari Cooper trade comes. They breeze through November unbeaten, part of a 5-game winning streak. But then a real head-scratcher, Week 15, they get shut out in Indianapolis.
You just wonder if all the wins that got them there, those 5, which were all tough, physical, hard-hitting battles, if it took a little bit out of them before they went on the road and lost Indianapolis in Week 15. But if they get to the...
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper from 3 yards out. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The football going back to the New Orleans Saints. And I wanted to ask you, Charles, for the Saints, how you think they stack up against the other teams near the top of the NFC, the Rams, the Bears. Where do you think they figure in?
Well, they can score well enough.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. Finding room to the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as, that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Try to shake off.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win.
no new friends. Football fans, they sleep again. We wake them up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeit it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got...
Welcome in, everybody. All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Madden Legends. This is fielded at the goal line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, here we go.
A first carry for the Hall of Famer, Barry Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there's the first carry of the game from Barry Sanders. His burst, his bounce, absolutely iconic. That guy moves in directions most people aren't able to do.
Career rushing yards are crazy, over 15,000, and the only player with 5 1,500-yard seasons. Just incredible.
Here we go now.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room.
Now Young loses the football. It's stripped, but fortunately another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Sanders, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
Watch him now, Barney.
Here's Young. They'll indeed go for it. And this is incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media maybe firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. All right, there's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscores. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Trying to lay one up, and this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Justin Hardy, 38 yards, and the Falcons have taken the early lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Madden legends heading back onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Throw left side, complete to Sharp. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Young with a give to Sanders. That burst good for 20 and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Now a first down throw for Young. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Young, going to throw again. Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Well, the Atlanta Falcons, their offense takes the field again, and the story for them this year, if you had to sum it up in one word, I think you would agree, it's been injuries in 2018. This is not the year they expected to have.
And it really happened on both sides of the ball, but it happened bigger on the defensive side of the ball. Keanu Neal, their free safety. Ricardo Allen, their strong safety. Deion Jones missed 10 games at middle linebacker. Flip it over to the offense. Devontae Freeman missed much of the season at running back. Both starting guards, Brandon Fusco and Andy Levitri, were both out. You're exactly right. Injuries were the name of the game for the Falcons.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. DeMarcus Ware. Coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Rod Woodson with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The Madden Legends offense trotting out again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they toss out wide to Sanders. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A give running left, it's Sanders. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
They'll run to Barry Sanders. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
We've played a corner here on Christmas Day. It's a close game here early on. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Here's Steve Young, and that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Looking to throw, Young. And that is going to be incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for with a visa. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot put no zeros. Got your one out. No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, Mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Shorty ought to been my me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never I left, yeah. Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. I down, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing, Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Hey, let's go.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher.